album concept hour. The album concept hour. It's the album concept hour.
John?
Yeah.
Hey there, John.
Yeah.
It's getting really spooky in here, isn't it?
Dude, I don't know what's going on, man.
I think the Zoom is haunted or something. Oh my god.
What's that fog?
Is that those headlights? Well, I guess I might as well move on to the beginning of the podcast. This is the album concept hour. My name is Brad LeBaron. I'm your host, as always, and today we have your co-host, as always,
JB Johnny Boy checking in.
Johnny Boy, and today we have a very special experience for you. We are listening to this spooky album that has been sent to us by Grant Summerland. It's called Bigfoot Museum. And we actually have him on. Here's Grant Summerland. Is that your actual? Is that your name, or is that your stage name, or your name? All right, we have Grant Summerland here, the creator of said Bigfoot Museum. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. How you guys?
We're
fantastic.
Doing all right. Doing the Zoom COVID podcasts. But we've been listening to your album the last couple of days, and I've really been enjoying it. Just to kind of go over like how we met. You were just searching up concept albums, I guess, on Google.
I was looking for podcasts about concept albums specifically.
Yes. So,
I found you guys that way.
Yeah. So, I guess
nailed it on the head with us
the
right there.
Google search works for us guys. But yeah, he checked us out, and he shot me an email immediately because he had a concept album himself that he'd been working on for a little while, and he wanted to see if we were interested in hearing it. And so I got to be honest, when I first got the email, I was like, oh, like this is exciting, this is cool and stuff. But I was like, I had no idea of how good it was going to be, or blah blah blah. But then like I pressed play, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, this is like jamming. I like this, like this. I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm glad that you reached out to us. So,
yeah, seriously, man, you're the real OG.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And where are you?
I'm glad I found you guys.
Where are you based in? So people know.
I'm from Santa Cruz, California, which is just south of the Bay Area.
Okay. And just for my frame of reference, how far is that from? Where's my? I forgot where my family lives. They're on the very southern big city there. But how far is that from like LA?
It's like 5 hours.
Okay. Yeah, California's a big place, and
yeah,
I definitely don't have it contextualized quite yet. I do listen to a lot of LA podcasts that people just talking about the city and stuff. But what's your neck of the woods like?
So I'm from Santa Cruz, like I said, and it's a very odd place. It's right below Silicon Valley, and it's on the coast.
Okay.
So do you guys ever see the movie Us?
Oh, I still haven't seen it. Did you see Us?
I don't think so.
Oh shit! You guys ever seen the Lost Boys?
I've seen the Lost Boys.
Well, I've seen the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
The Lost Boys was filmed in my town. So if you remember that,
really,
90.
Right.
Yeah, that's our only real like claim to fame is the movie Us and the movie Lost Boys.
That's pretty.
Also,
pretty cool though. I remember the Lost Boys being very thematically. Have you been to like the caves and all the tourist spots yourself, or is that more for tourists?
The cave actually isn't in Santa Cruz. That was the one part they filmed that was not in Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that was pretty extensive and might have been a set. I don't know.
Yeah, but so there's the boardwalk. It's a town of about 50,000 people. And again, you have Monterey to the south. So if you've ever seen like Big Little Lies or heard of the Monterey Bay Aquarium, that's about an hour south.
Yeah.
Again, Silicon Valley is just like 30 minutes north. And you have to go over a small mountain range to get there, and there's only one road. But mostly, like, it's mostly a tourist town, a beach tourist town. And I live a little bit further north, up more in the woods.
Okay.
So it has its own mountain range. It's the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's despite the fact that it's literally between all these areas that the Santa Cruz Mountains itself ever really. So
yeah,
that was kind of one thing I wanted to do with this album, was make an album just about that specific tract of land. And
yeah, I was gonna say that comes through, I think.
Very much so.
Yeah. I was wondering though, is this the Bigfoot Museum, like the title itself, does that have anything to do with the one in Felton, California?
Yes, it does. That is what it's named after.
Oh, cool. All right, I got that one. Yeah, I did a little Googling. I'm like, Bigfoot Museum. I wonder. So yeah, so what is
this
what's
is
the
great,
connection?
Brad. We finally get to fact check ourselves.
I know. It's perfect. We've never had the artist at our fingertips. It's wonderful. So what is the Bigfoot Museum to you, I guess?
Well, that's a fucking good question. I don't know what it is to me. Maybe that's why I made that whole album, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is basically what it says. It's a museum about Bigfoot. It's run by one guy who believes in Bigfoot, and
it's a genuine like.
Yes, it's like 100%.
Okay.
Totally believes in Bigfoot. Opened it up to let everyone else know about Bigfoot, and
that's awesome.
Yeah. And he's really nice. He's actually really well spoken. He's really patient. And if you go in there and you can just talk to him, there'll never be anyone else in there. It'll just be you and him. And you can just talk to him for as long as you want about Bigfoot.
Wow.
And he'll gladly answer any question, any retort you may have about why there may not be Bigfoot.
Oh. So he covers both sides of the argument.
Yeah, no, and
okay, cool.
I gotta give him a lot of credit. He really has put forth the most evidence-based, like, rational view of Bigfoot I think you could possibly get.
That's actually that sounds like the tourist attraction that I want to go to. In your neck of the woods.
I really recommend it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
that sounds interesting.
For all those people looking for vacation destinations that aren't that are a little off the beaten trail, you know what I mean? Go check out the Bigfoot Museum. But do you guys want to get into the?
Hey,
what's up,
but
John?
before we get into it, why don't we give him the standard podcast rundown there?
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's protocol.
There's protocol.
So one thing we usually ask the guests is what was like one of the first music things that you kind of called your own? Like, what's some of the first bands that you were like, hey, like that's something that I vibe with, you know?
The first album I actually remember buying was American Idiot by Green Day.
All right.
And then after that, I got From Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one too. I remember those both very well.
You know, we actually do American Idiot if you're ever interested.
I saw that. I'm gonna have to check it out soon.
Yeah, that one's fun.
A lot to say about that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember buying Enema of the State by Blink-182, and, Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age on the same day.
Nice.
And I was I was about 10 years old.
Yeah, well, you 9 or 10 was what, me 14 or 15 was jamming on.
How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just for our reference.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got a great age group tonight.
Well, yeah, you got into that stuff pretty young then. Because, like, that's normally stuff that's almost, like, reserved for teenagers or something. But sounds like you got into it even before that. That's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it was just what I think it was just what everyone was listening to at the time.
Yeah.
That I knew, and I didn't really think much of it.
I suppose it was probably a bigger phenomenon if you were actually in California, probably, right?
Probably.
Because I mean, a lot of that was coming from California. Yeah, no, we were always, we were hearing it from the tours and Warped Tour and like, different random compilations or something. But yeah, I mean, I remember hearing stories about Southern California and the good old days with like pop punk and all that. Like, I was a big Blink-182 head, and so I would like read their like books and stuff about their like tour stuff with Green Day and all the bullshit. So yeah, I remember hearing all of like the mythos of it. Oh, it's San Diego. My family lives in. That's what I couldn't remember earlier.
San Diego.
But yeah, if you want, then we can get into the what was in the intro was the first track technically, but this is the first song, right? Would you consider the last one a song?
The one that was just played?
Yeah, it's more like sounds, right?
More like a track.
More like an ambiance,
intro.
Yeah.
All right. This one is called "The Devil and the Rabbit."
I sit alone in my room all alone at night because I'm scared of the dark, but even more scared of the lights. And no black and white, not all games are played with dice because the devil has his rabbits and all cats have their mice.
Nice.
Oh man, I gotta say, I love one of the things that hit me. The first thing that hit me is that deep ass bass tone, like. That sounds so, it just hits your ears so well.
Yeah, the production on this album is very good. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really liking the production on this, man. Yeah, this one, like I like I said, I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, I was kind of just eating it up. But
the reason why I helped pick that, or why I wanted that track or that 15 seconds, because I like that intensity you have, that all cats have their mice.
Yeah. I like the wordplay there. The devil has his rabbits, and all the cats have their mice. So are you a gamer at all?
I've honestly no. I'm not a gamer, but I have played a good amount of video games.
I think I noticed a few dice references. That's why I asked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with games, of course, like everyone, and played a lot of the classics when I was younger, and I just don't really do it much anymore. A lot of my friends do.
Who's got time? Right?
I have another group called Perfectly Adequate Whales. It's also a rap group, and
oh really?
We do. There's a lot of lyrics about video games in there from some of the other members, and we sample a lot of stuff with video games.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. There's a lot there. There's a lot of great video game samples to choose from. So
there's so much. No, video game music is great. It's I guess I like the idea of video games more than I actually like playing them myself, and that's not that's just like a personal reference point for me. Just I don't personally like.
Did you grow up like watching a lot of people play video games?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
I was gonna say I'm like the same type.
It's a very good relatable point.
Yeah.
I have a lot of older brothers, so a lot of watching them do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I almost wish I liked video games more and could play them more. But I just don't have there's just something off about it, and I just can't really.
Sometimes like you hit like an hour of video game playing, and you just feel empty inside, and you just need.
I never got into video games myself. I mean, I was pretty addicted to my Pokemon on my Pokemon Gold on the Game Boy. But
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like crack in a video game cartridge, man.
Oh wait, the one exception to that though is Tetris. I fucking love Tetris, dude. That shit fucking slays.
Oh man,
I had a lot of fun playing Tetris in math class.
You play that one where you have you can play with others.
No, they have that?
That's a thing now, apparently. You can
Oh,
you can
fuck.
Tetris battle or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, I just do the
I don't
online
understand it.
like solo one where you can set the speed. And I
Mm,
love that
mhm.
one where you can like so you can just get it as fast as
Yeah.
you can see how fast you can go.
Nice.
Dude,
Nice.
that's the ultimate thrill, dude. I don't know why people made video games after that.
Yeah, no, it's done. Just close it up. We got
Yeah.
Minesweeper, we got Solitaire. We're good. We got these games. But yeah, one thing that's really obvious in the album though is like it's very horror themed. And this one is no exception. It kind of establishes like the feel I guess that you're going for in the album, right? But what was your like first inspiration for the I guess concept as a whole? Since we never get to ask that question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly where the idea first originated. I think I just found myself in a period of my life where I was just watching a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
And I kind of was starting to think about horror as more than kind of the like jump scare genre.
Uh-huh.
And trying to think about like what is actually important about horror and what does horror actually do like beneath the surface of just like an oh shit fuck there's a guy with a knife or a mask or something.
Yeah, the psychological element of it.
Yeah, and I just kind of became just more enamored with what a horror movie could be or what a horror something could be.
So is this what you mean when you say like I got videotapes that fall out of my drawers, spill out, fall in? Is like the videotapes like the horror movies, kind of? Or is it not that literal?
Possibly. Yeah. And yeah, and one other thing, I was watching Twin Peaks a lot at that time.
Okay.
That was one of the big ones where I was like, oh.
I wrote down a note about David Lynch.
Oh yeah, he'll come up later.
Cool.
Yeah, so to tell you the truth, I don't know exactly where it came from. I just started getting really into horror movies at one point and knew that I wanted to do something with that in a musical project. And when I thought about that more, I was like, it has to be an album. It has to be a full album, not an EP, and it has to have connecting tracks. It has to have transitions, and it has to have a story arc.
Yeah,
and that was kind of where I started.
Yeah, I think that the composition of it kind of reminds me of like the Gorillaz approach to an album. You know what I mean? It really does seem like you like took a step back and you're like looking at it as a whole, rather than a bunch of songs that are similar themed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very cohesive.
Thank you.
I really like the line because I'm scared of the dark, but even more scared of the lights. It's just a nice little wordplay. And okay? So you don't have to answer this. This could be like maybe a theory that I just put out there, but is this supposed to be one character or multiple characters in this album that we're following?
No comment.
Ooh, okay. All right. That actually might support one of my theories, so that's good. But yeah, you guys want to get into Piggy Bank. Yeah, this one's fun. This one got stuck pretty immediately into my head. So here is track 3, Piggy Bank.
Piggy bank, so it's hard to care what you think. I'ma break up in my piggy bank, so it's hard to care what you think. I'ma break up in my piggy bank, so it's hard to care what you think.
I love that piano.
Yeah.
Love that piano bit that you do in there.
Yeah. Are you classically trained with piano, or is that you, or?
Yeah, so I played all the instruments on the
Okay.
album. If you hear an organic instrument,
Okay.
and everything else is basically MIDI.
That was my second question.
Or
Is that a grand piano? Is that an actual like grand piano, or is that like a setting on a keyboard?
no, that's an actual grand piano that you hear.
Oh my, that
Damn.
sounds
I knew
so
it.
good. I knew it.
I was about to say, like, it sounds really, really good if it's a keyboard, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they really haven't gotten down piano settings on MIDI.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
hard to
sound
get the.
designers of
It's
the world.
really hard to get that natural like room tone.
Yeah, to their credit, it's
thing.
very hard to actually get it to sound like an actual real full
Yeah,
piano.
it's a lot easier to do some kind of synthy variation of a natural sound. Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did
That
you
sounded very full.
like
Very,
play
very
in
nice trick
high
piano on
school
that.
and
I like
stuff?
it.
Yeah, so I had some slight classical training when I was really young,
Okay.
and I hated it and stopped doing
Yeah,
it.
me too.
And then I had some really casual jazz lessons throughout high school
Okay.
and learned a lot about jazz piano. But
okay. So you know about jazz too. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if I'm trained anyway, which I wouldn't say I got enough training to really be trained, but if I'm trained, it was really being jazz.
Well, if you're really into jazz, then you're really hard on yourself about your musical talent. So I find that to be the case. If you're like really into jazz, you're probably like a little bit above like like someone that hasn't been trained. You know what I mean? My brother is was a jazz trumpeter in high school, and I got really just inundated with jazz during that period. But yeah, no, it's a good background to have, though. It gives you appreciation for all sorts of collaborations and ways that you can make music. We still need to do a jazz album. We haven't chosen like the best. Like I think it's probably going to be the Jonathan Coltrane, the was it blue no, not the Blue Note.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I have this thing where once the recording button is started, my short-term memory is completely depleted. But yeah, no, we definitely need to do one of those.
We're gonna do it.
But
Maybe we'll pick an Aja thing, or not Aja. Oh god.
Yeah, he has.
happens to me
See,
too.
John has it too. Yeah, it spreads. But
Damn, I gotta
this.
start writing stuff down.
So is this like your like a single for the album? Would you say?
Yeah, if I had released it as a single, which
Uh-huh.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I kind of with this one, I wanted to sit down and just make like a straight because there was so much time where I was making songs before this project. I had a like an indie folk band in high school. I also had
Okay.
like a post rock side project. I also had my rap side project with my friends, kind of as a joke. So
started
kinda
started
grew
as
more.
a joke, the rap stuff.
oh yeah, it started as a joke and then it consumes you and then it's no longer a joke.
Yeah, that's
You
legit.
know,
Yeah,
the classic.
you
Yeah.
fall into it, you know.
And then but with Piggy Bank, I wanted to sit down and just make like a straight up pop song, like a song that was
Okay.
actually just like
It
Okay.
sounds so 90s,
pop.
dude. I love it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it really reminds me of I don't know if you ever heard of them, Matt and Kim. They
I
used
have
to
heard of Matt and Kim.
Yeah, it kind of gives me that kind of indie vibe that like was from kind of the 2000s, like was really really big. Like when I was in high school, there was a lot of like indie stuff, and that was like a big word that was thrown around a lot. But you definitely have that indie style, the musical style, I guess, outside of just the independent thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, this definitely does. It's a great pop song. It really holds.
Thanks. And then when I say pop song, I don't mean like a Taylor Swift.
No, you
Or
mean
like-
something
Yeah, for sure.
true pop and something you can probably sell. This is something you can sell, by the way.
Well, and this
Yeah.
is and pop in the sense that like a lot of people can jam to this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, like verse, like catchy chorus, like verse, catchy chorus, bridge.
What is pop
Yeah.
short for but popular music, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a positive song too. So the theme starts off like the first couple tracks are like, you're in the woods with your car, like kind of on the cover, I think, and then like the last track kind of establishes more of that vibe. But then like, I was like the first listen through, like this was like a hard left for me. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So it's not just the horror; it's also summertime, So like, I like that dichotomy that kind of continues in this album, and I love just the message is just I'm gonna fucking spend my money. I don't care what you guys think about what I do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's got a nice message.
In the summertime.
In the summertime. Yeah. And just that, in the summertime. Yeah. Like, I mean, if that's not being requested at your local radio, the people are fucking up around Santa Cruz. What is the local radio for you?
It's like a lot of just, actually, I'm just, oh shit.
Oh, go.
The local radio is pretty, like standard, I guess. There's a lot of commercial, just a lot of like really, there's like a Christian station. There's an old school R&B station that's actually fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
105.1, shouts at 105.1.
Nice.
And there's just kind of like a plethora of kind of the normal stuff you would find maybe in any sort of urban area.
Yeah.
And like there's one actual radio station, and that's the local college radio station.
Yeah.
KZSE. Yeah. So there's UCSE, University of California, Santa Cruz.
College radio always kills it, man.
Yeah. And that was actually kind of the inspiration for this album was like a radio station that's being run independently, and maybe things are going kind of haywire.
So I was getting that feeling sometimes.
Yeah. And because a lot of the radio stations in the area, when you listen to them, there's no one on the other end, right? There aren't DJs a lot of the time.
And we have something at 89.9 WORT, not to put you guys on blast, but I love at the station, but like often they'll like mess something up with the audio, and you'll hear them like mumbling to themselves or something, like they've muted like the wrong thing, so like they're coming through but the music isn't, like, and it's just like, it's a local station, it's locally funded and everything, so like I'm not like gonna be hard on them about it. But it's one of those like special things about local radio though. No, I mean KZSE is the same. I mean I think every college station in the world is that way, and it should be that way because that's the point of the station.
They're learning how to do it,
which makes it more fun. I want to.
You need a spot where you can do that too,
No, there's no rules. I mean, they can play whatever they want and they can do it how they want, and I think that's really cool. So when I say
podcasting is like underground radio, you know what I mean? It's like it's taking and totally taking that kind of idea and putting it on the internet, like but you guys want to get into Boogeyman, track 4?
Yeah.
Sure thing.
All right, so this one takes another switch to a different mode.
Had my TV on for a while, yeah, just a little bit. Took the batteries out my radio, I don't believe in shit. I watch every Scream movie in Jaws installment. I do the Halloweens next, but that's too much involvement. Where the boogeyman at? Yeah, I fucking heard of him. Catch me in the middle of the night, I'll fucking murder him. Bust my bat out just to whack his knees out. I push him down my front steps so I can watch him bleed out. I like being up at night, I like old cartoons, I like old jazz, I like being alone in my room. But I really want somebody I can show my favorite movies, yeah, I really want somebody who can understand the beauty.
That's maybe one of my favorite That's maybe my favorite intro.
That's definitely the best intro
That's great intro
on this, with the exception of the radio tracks, like the radio DJ tracks, which I love, by the way.
Yeah, those are fun. But man, it just like me and John actually like had difficulty with this clip actually, because like he really liked something in like he liked the second chorus where you talk about Camp Crystal Lake, but I was like, but the intro, dude, that intro, you know?
Yeah, but I really like the shout out to, like, because I got where you were going with this song, with the whole horror film theme.
Yeah,
and I really like that. I could work at Camp Crystal Lake. Like I was. Like with the canoes and shit, I was just like, oh yeah,
yeah.
This guy knows where it's at.
Well, yeah, this one you mentioned a lot of horror stuff. Like this one's maybe the most like horror reference heavy track thus far, I guess. But yeah, you talk about Scream and Halloween, and I love how you talk about.
You need to like heavily promote this track around Halloween, by the way. Recommendation.
Yes. Yeah. I was about to say just have like a re-release right in October. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe with bonus tracks. I don't know. Yeah. I love the way that you're just like, I'll fucking murder him. Like you're talking about the boogeyman. Like I've never I like the way that you're just you set that up. Cause like
no fear. Where the boogeyman at? Where the boogeyman at?
Yeah, because like they're horror like themed, but they're not necessarily like frightened, like the whoever the character is in this track, he's not like frightened of the horror stuff. He's just like, I don't know if he's numb to it or like you know what I mean. But yeah, I like the the piano and the depth of it and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, you got Black Creature from the Black Lagoon in here too.
That's a fucking sick. When I wrote that line, I actually hadn't seen that movie because I've seen Halloween and I've seen Scream, but I'd never seen Creature of the Black Lagoon, and I just seen the poster, and I was like, oh, that's fucking tight. But I went back and I actually watched it recently. I watched it about a month, 2 months ago.
Oh wow!
And that is a fucking sick movie. Because it's made in the 50s. It's like 1958. It's in black and white. Have you guys ever seen?
I've seen like clips of it on like memes
I've never
or
seen
something.
The whole thing.
I've only seen like I think Mystery Science Theater did it at some point, but I haven't seen it though.
Oh, I recommend it. It's fucking sick. Because I mean it's not that long. Its pace is all right. I have like trouble sitting still for old movies.
Yeah, that can be hard
sometimes. That one was not one I had trouble with. Yeah. And it's just a really good horror flick, really good monster flick.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I noticed.
Wait, sorry, go on, John. No, you go on.
I noticed that you put the Charlie's got them boats that I don't float. I noticed that you talk about Charlie's got them boats that you don't like later on in the album.
Yeah, dude. There's something up with
that. Is that connected in some way?
Well, it seems
no comment.
It seems, and yeah, we'll get more to the Charlie, but I did notice it's definitely a different spelling of Charlie than I'm used to. Is that significant?
No, it's just how I like that name to be spelled.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering.
There's no reference. Yeah, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme. There's no reason.
The first thing I thought is like, is Charlie like a place, like a business, like a seaside
supermarket,
seaside shanty type of deal, because he's got the boats. But yeah, and what was it? I changed the locks while I was at it. Damn right, I'm combatant. Take control of this shit. I fucking hate black magic. So is this guy just getting like attention from like horror dudes all the time? Is this like a regular occurrence, like that the boogeyman comes up to this guy's house?
That would be, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That's more or less the idea, right?
Okay,
yeah. Is that like, if you did live in the reality of horror movies, it really would actually just be inconvenient a lot of the time
Yeah.
and not actually. I mean, and there is that. Of course, you have that fear, and that fear is going to be there all the time. But there are going to be moments when it just comes down to a simple thing that you need to get rid of, and kind of a practicality.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the idea behind.
And to recontextualize things, and to, not jump at the shadows, because just because you're used to the jump scares or whatever. Because if you're living in that reality, I mean, you can see those jump scares coming a mile away. It's that real deep psychological shit that you're not going to see coming. But yeah, let's. You guys want to get on to the next track then? It's where did I put that app? It is. Oh, here we go. 11:45. This is one of the radio bits. Here we go.
Nice night tonight. We're about a quarter of the way through our program. Now a word from our sponsors.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, I like that. First of all, I like that you leave in that mistake at the beginning of that part. Like, I don't know if that was like an intentional thing or whatever, or if it was planned, but I like that you leave it in regardless. It's a fun little studio moment.
Kind of like what we were talking about earlier with college radio.
Yeah,
winky dink.
Exactly. Actually, I guess that goes with what you were saying. So who is? I gotta ask: is this Tony guy? Is this someone like that you know? Is this someone you're friends with, or is this someone like you hired to do a little voice work?
It's a friend.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Cool. I was gonna say, he sounds a little bit like a podcaster person that I know. But
yeah, doesn't he sound like not real? Like he doesn't sound like a.
Well, I mean, he sounds pro. He sounds very professional.
Yeah, no, he sounds fucking. He sounds pro in a very like old time way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I love this clip.
Yeah.
Because I love that you got that little music in the background. It really feels very naturally radio.
And the transition into this song is really nice too. It's a really smooth transition between the two.
By the way, I gotta ask: is that a sample? Like all that orchestry stuff, is that a sample, or did you do that, or
the orchestral stuff is a sample?
Okay.
There are samples used on the album.
No, that's fine. I just I think it's a very beautiful sample.
No, I do
really like it.
I for the life of me could not tell you the name of it. I had a friend rip it was a Reader's Digest vinyl that they sent out to subscribers in the 50s.
Wow.
And it was, but they wouldn't even be called like specific things. It was called, they'd have like series. So it'd be like songs for dining or songs for relaxing. And they would just send you a vinyl with like 11 tracks done by random symphonies.
That's awesome.
They were like the early mixtapes.
I've seen those everywhere in like record shops. I'm just like, Reader's Digest, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, what the fuck? Like,
what does Reader's Digest have to offer me musically? But like, that's really cool. I'm gonna have to pick up some of those.
Yeah, and they're tight. Like they're so sick. I was amazed, and yeah, so I ripped one of those.
Nice.
And I used that as the basis for Runnabee, and so Earthbound are the two that I actually sat down and tried to use samples on.
Nice. I found a couple of these sound effects records randomly, and I've used a few of the random sound effects for my improv comedy podcast. But yeah, when you find those weird gems, it's like, why did they make a record of this? It's like, pick that up because you can use those sounds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really
There's a lot of records out there.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's like, that's like the heart of hip hop, though, is like finding those like random obscure sounds and then incorporating them. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a fun track. But before we move on to Runnabee though, we got to talk about this spot. So Tony seems nice so far. You know, he's coming at you from the nice city of Santa Cruz. And okay, KSR 89.5, is that just a random number as well? Just something you came up with?
It's 87.5.
87.5. Sorry.
Because I don't know how your dial. I've actually never asked anyone this question, so I don't know. I might just be wrong, but my radio doesn't go past 88.
Oh.
So there is no 87.5 for me.
Okay.
And
so it's
I
like it's permanently.
assume that's how it is for other people.
It's
yeah,
permanently left of the dial, as 90s kids will say.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a term alternative kids.
Yeah.
Gen
And
Xers.
And KSCR stands for Santa Cruz Radio.
Okay. Nice. But yeah, he's there's nothing weird so far. But it says 11:45, so it's 11:45 at night. And I did notice that if you were to listen to this, like if you did start at 11:30 and listen to it, it almost falls in line perfectly with real time. You know?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's intentional, right?
The idea was I never wanted to actually have it match up exactly.
Okay.
And I didn't want to make I think an hour is way too long for an album, or for most albums. At least this album.
I think most of the time they're right. Yeah.
But I wanted to line up sort of what the experience of listening to an hour of radio when you're driving would be like. So
Okay.
I definitely did speed it up to match
Yeah,
that.
I did notice that. Like, it's not perfect or anything, but like it's close enough that like if you listen to it late at night, you can kind of get into that zone,
Mhm.
which is cool. I've never heard an album that has that element to it, like time specific. If you listen to it at this time, that more people should do that. Like base what's happening on the album around midnight or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. I mean, you started it, and somebody should pick up on it. I think it's a great idea.
It seems to be working out pretty well for the album.
Yeah. So this next track is called "Runnabee." So here we go.
I don't know more than being dumb and being young. I don't know more than being dumb to have fun. With campfires and bonfires that fill up my weeks. At lookout points, back roads and creeks. These are my summer nights with trees in my headlights. And well, I think it's all pretty nice. Summer nights with trees in my...
All right. That's got a nice groove.
So it's nice to know people in California have similar childhoods as people in Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, John
This is
lives out in
pretty
he lives out in the country. So during the summertime, he's always doing
You pretty much described what my summer nights were when I was in high school and college and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. That's pretty good memory. Plus, you sound a lot like Moby on this track as well.
Like Moby.
You ever heard of Moby before?
Like I know him as he has that one song.
Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't have lyrics though. I don't know any songs of his.
No, he's got some songs with lyrics. There's a song he does with like his big one that I could bring up that most people know is he does one with Chris. Who's the girl from? Oh crap! This sucks.
Someone in the comments will probably figure it out. I think.
I don't know shit about Moby.
Because of
I don't
our
know a goddamn thing.
state-dependent memory. Was it Beyonce?
No, is it Christina Aguilera?
I don't know, man.
No.
Moby's just one of those enigmatic figures for me. He's just
he had a couple talking tracks.
I've
Look
heard
up
him
Moby.
mentioned in many
He's got
media,
some stuff.
but I could not for the life of me tell you who Moby is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the band that sings "I'm Just a Girl"?
Oh, Gwen Stefani. You're talking about
Gwen Stefani. He's got a track with Gwen Stefani from like 2000.
Yeah.
Look it up sometime.
Yeah,
it kind of brings me back a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the chorus, but I don't understand it.
Understand the damn chorus.
I was about to say,
Runnabee.
This is the first time in the album I was like, because this is probably why I asked for the lyrics originally, honestly. Which thank you for providing them, by the way. I appreciate that. But I was like writing down. He's saying cool to run. It would be cool to run. But I guess, yeah. What do you have any? What can you tell us?
No comment on these.
Okay.
God damn it!
Cold
It's
to
the one
run.
I was hoping you'd answer.
So hold on. So cold a run. Maybe he's going on a cold run. He's
Cold. It's a run a bee though.
cold
What does he
run.
do? Run a bee. Is he running for a being? Is he running to be a being?
Maybe.
Cold
Maybe.
run a bee.
Maybe.
There's just
You know
really
what?
cool lyrics,
It might just
like
sound
that
good.
one song from the '90s that went.
It might just sound really good,
all
you know?
through the chorus.
Yeah. But no, I really like though. It's like you know, you really you break down like a perfect summer night, like start to finish. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this is what I imagine a California summer by the beach is like. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You
'cause I mean-
you really give off like your music really gives off that kind of like that vibe as well. That it's really nice outside.
yeah.
You can really go out. You can start a bonfire.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a little wind going, but not like nothing horrible.
Our Midwestern jealousy is showing right now, quite a bit. But no, like every time like I visit my family in California, like I step off the plane and I'm like, oh man, like I just feel a little happier. I don't know what it is about this place. It's probably the sun. It's probably all the sun. The fact we don't get it. But yeah, this is this one that you would you'd think that would be a single if you got the chance?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, when I made that was actually one of the first full songs I made for this album.
Okay.
And one of the first full songs I made for this project. And I remember thinking that I was like, yeah, like this could be a single. And then I really kind of wanted to make an album where every track could more or less be a single if it had to be.
Uh-huh.
And that was kind of the direction I went in. Not the radio parts, but the actual songs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I don't know, to answer your question, I think I could see like a radio shortened version of it if I was in the 90s and we were doing like radio edits.
Oh
right?
yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I could see there being like a serious radio edit for this
Uh-huh.
one versus like the actual like album version.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I think that it would definitely work like that. It like this one in particular. I mean, I've said it before, but really reminds me of like a Gorillaz kind of approach to composition. Are you a Gorillaz fan?
Yeah, I like the Gorillaz.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm a Gorillaz like fan.
Yeah. You just you're aware of
yeah, I'm aware of them.
what
I
they
have
got.
Demon Days. I think Demon Days is a good album.
Yeah.
We just covered that one.
Yeah, that was our last
Like
episode.
last
release.
week.
Yep.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a fun one. A lot of concept in Gorillaz. But yeah, no, I get that kind of approach from you more than anything. Not just the production, but I guess your approach to the whole process as like Damon Albarn.
Yeah.
You know.
Were you the producer?
Yes. Yeah, I produced all the songs.
Right. Nice.
That is one thing. Even though I don't, I'm not like super familiar with the Gorillaz work. I do really like their concept behind the Gorillaz project. And I think one thing that Damon
Albarn,
what he kind of stumbled upon was that like if that there can be more to an album than just the music, and you can actually make what's outside of the music count as part of the full experience.
Yeah.
And that's and you see that with the music videos, you see that with the artwork, and you see that with the characters that he created.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I think that's a much more fun way to think about music. I think it's just like a lot cooler of a way to think about albums.
Yeah,
in particular.
I that's what I've always loved about them is that they make me think a lot and one like especially pre-internet, like every new Gorillaz thing that came out was like it's just a new piece of the puzzle of like what's happening in the whole Gorillaz verse. I have been thinking lately we need to do an episode just about the music videos and the whole universe of Gorillaz sometime, because that's where it really shines, because like the other guy in Gorillaz is actually an artist and that's his main thing.
Yeah, that officially those are the Gorillas.
The only
It's
two
Dan
members,
Auburn
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
artist.
So, but yeah, that approach though is really really good like headspace to be in to get creativity out there. But yeah, you guys want to move on to the 7th track and then take a break?
Sure thing.
We usually
Sure.
usually take a 10-minute break between first half, second half. Sound good?
Sound good?
All right. Well, here is what is it called again? Oh, this is actually okay. So this is actually tracks 7 and 8. We chose the transition between the two songs. So this is Nice and Earthbound.
Age with the mind of adolescent, 'cause I got dreams that I'm afraid I'll never ever see happen. Yeah. 'Cause I got dreams that I'm afraid I'll never ever see happen. And I can't wait to stay up till dawn, 'cause I'm going outside and I'll probably be long.
I just love that like dichotomy between the two. Like it goes from you being like, I really, hope that basically, I hope that things work out because I got dreams, and I'm afraid that they're not going to work out. And then like the very next part of the track is like this kind of positive, like going into what do you say here? Can't wait to stay up till dawn. Just a really nice kind of vibe. But yeah, really enjoyed that transition and the little
Thank you.
thing.
I love
between.
the beginning of the next song though. Track 8.
Oh, the one that was in the clip.
And I really like the beginning lyrics into that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, and
really shows your early 2000s background.
well, I was about to say like the track 7, Nice, reminded me of like Beck. You know what I mean? It kind
Really?
of has.
I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
it kind of is like maybe Beck during like Giro era. But yeah, that just like really just like fun, high production, like just all sorts of stuff going on, and your voice too. I think. Actually, so I mentioned it in the email when you first reached out to me, but the biggest person you remind me is of Flowbots with the song Handlebars, which I don't know if you've heard that from anyone, but.
No, I haven't. I actually don't know what that song is.
Oh wow, you should really look that up. I mean, it has that. It's a very indie hip hop kind of vibe. It came out in the I think I want to say early '90s or early 2000s. But yeah, he was one of those kind of underground hip hop dudes that never really. He was never like someone that was like had like a radio single besides like Handlebars was like an underground hit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I definitely recommend checking him out.
For sure.
Can't believe you've never heard Handlebars.
Well, I mean, that is kind of an our generation thing a little bit.
Fair enough.
I mean, he
Fair
is a little
enough.
bit younger than us, so I mean, I bet a lot of people his age will probably be like, Handlebars, what are you talking about? But yeah, I like this. Just the I don't know. I guess the intimacy of the song Nice, where you're saying like I got dreams I'm afraid I'll never see happen is a very like kind of raw thing to say and lay down.
It's really something a lot of people fear in general.
And I don't hear people say stuff like that very often.
No.
And so
you almost don't hear people say stuff like that enough.
Yeah.
Not because it's even like a positive or a negative thing, but it should always be something that's kind of like said as a positive thing for the next generation. Like, hey, I had stuff I dreamed I never could see happen. Some of it I did make it happen. Some of it I didn't. Just remember that. It's a good message.
Yeah.
Kind of keep in your head.
Yeah. And is this about is this more I guess biographical, this song, or are any of the songs biographical? That's the question.
No comment.
All right. Cool.
All right.
My theory is still pretty strong. I'm gonna hit it with you later. But anything else we can garnish from these couple tracks, John?
I love in the next track 8. I love your line of how I wish I could do stupid stuff forever, or at least until I'm 85.
Yeah.
I relate to that. I can't, and I'm trying to clean my life up now. pick my life up a little bit, but I still wish I could do stupid stuff till forever.
Well, and then I like that you also clarify that with, but that wouldn't make sense. So I mean, you're also you're saying like, I wish I could do this, but that's life. You can't do that forever.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a matter of what you consider stupid stuff.
I guess I'm thinking of like real.
Oh, believe me, the
damaging
stupid stuff I'm thinking of, you can't do forever.
Yeah. Maybe we're thinking maybe different things. I'm thinking of stuff that lands you in jail for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's stuff you can't do. I mean, you could do it until you're 85.
I'm thinking about drinking wildly every night.
It'd be a very exciting and full life.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but there are certain things like physically, you can't do till you're 85. You can't go drink out all night when you're 80 years old or something with your friends.
Bounce right back every day.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Hey, maybe one day they'll find the gene that allows you to drink forever.
I feel like there was a gene, because not to get too into it, but if you read Bible stuff, people lived hundreds of years back in the day.
Yeah, there are some of that Old Testament numbers.
I feel like we've whittled our life down somehow.
Maybe they drank better beer.
I don't know.
Maybe they drank better beer than we have.
Maybe they did better drugs.
We need to rediscover what they had. So yeah, do you guys want to take this quick break here and then get back to it? We have
sure
6 tracks left.
This is Jake the Snake Foster from Under the Covers with Jake the Snake Foster, and you're listening to the album Concept Hour.
All right, so we got this one is the 12 o'clock midnight. Here we go.
Checking back in. That summer heat is just rolling in. We got the windows down, the fans full blast, just embracing that evening. And hey, look at that. It's already midnight.
Oh man, John, I'm getting scared again.
It was just so classic, dude. It's just so epically classic that you did that. The way you did that. It's all smooth coming in the midnight. It's just it brings me back to the latter 2000s, man. Like that's latter 2000s hip hop right there, all over it.
And it's our first indication that this Tony character isn't all that we think he is.
Isn't all he says he is, yeah.
No. There's some mystery going on here.
I feel like Tony's in his head.
Yeah, you think so?
And everything else is adventure, but it's the radio station that plays in his head.
Well,
that's what I'm feeling.
I think, does he say that he has a broken radio earlier in the record?
I think he does.
I think he might. I think he might be onto something, John. And he's got to be one of these ghouls or something. I don't know, man. Or someone's messing with his radio station. Who knows? But
you guys ever seen American Graffiti?
Yes.
I have not, but go on.
I was just wondering if you've seen American Graffiti.
Dude, yeah, no, it's
wait, John,
it's
what
got
what does this mean?
Oh God, from Happy Days.
Yeah,
what's his name?
It's what? You talking about
the director, the guy that becomes the director.
You talking about the kid that directs
Yeah.
Da Vinci Code?
From
Ron
from
Howard.
from the Andy Griffith Show.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard. It's
Yeah.
got Ron Howard in it. It's like
Okay.
it's actually what inspired a lot of like it was like very pre-50s, like 70s nostalgia.
Okay.
It's what
okay.
kicked off a lot of it. Like
So then,
Happy Days is attributed because of like the
John,
success of that.
you having seen that movie, what do you think that the importance of that movie might be?
I'm not sure actually.
Was there any
it could
ghouls?
get into.
Was there any like ghouls or beasts in the American Graffiti?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
All right. Well, speaking of movies, though, we might as well move on to this next track. Is titled after another movie. It's called Eraserhead.
Turn on my radio and fall asleep to the beats. I just want the summer to end. Please God, please someone just make the summer end. I just want the summer to end. Please God, please someone, please make the summer end.
And for those that don't know, Eraserhead is the name of a David Lynch film. Was it his first film?
Was his first film?
It was his first film. And again, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I haven't seen it. So I don't know the exact context. I have a lot of movies to see now that I've listened to your album because it will help contextualize everything. Well, I mean, you could have also just titled it Eraserhead. I mean...
to be fair with this one, the sample is from a song that's on Eraserhead.
Oh, really?
Movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that woman in the background that you can kind of hear.
Yeah.
In fact, do you guys listen to Modest Mouse? Any chance you've ever?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like
Once or twice.
I'm like super going out on a limb. Do you know the song "When You Breathe Out, I Breathe In"?
I definitely have heard that, but I can't think of it in my head.
It's a cover, not a cover. It's like a Ren, kind of a.
Is it like a genre cover or something?
He uses some of the same lyrics.
Okay.
Of the song that's sampled in this song. So, if you go to YouTube and just type in Eraserhead, woman singing, you'll come up with this clip, and that is the name of this. It's called "In Heaven." Just Eraserhead in Heaven. We'll give you it.
So the clip you're saying is actually in Eraserhead.
The movie Eraserhead. Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Nice.
And what I wanted to do with this song is I wanted to make I got really into the idea when I was making this of having punk rock be like a hip hop song. So how do you take a punk song and make it a hip hop song? Or how do you have a hip hop song that has the same mode as a punk song? So this is me trying to basically make a punk song, but as a hip hop song. So it has all the tenets of punk. So it's short and it's fast, and it's noisy and it's kind of loud. But again,
I was gonna say I mean, and it definitely has the David Lynch vibe too. Weirdly, crossing those two still holds that David Lynch kind of vibe, which I wouldn't have thought at first, but it works. I watched the first the old Twin Peaks. I haven't seen the new stuff or anything.
Oh, dude, you got to get on that new shit.
I just didn't have the money for the subscription, but I really.
Twin Peaks. That's where I've heard David Lynch.
Yep. Oh yeah. Have you ever?
I haven't watched many of his movies, but I've seen the original Twin Peaks.
Well, I was about to say, have you ever seen Mulholland Drive?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
one of my favorite movies.
That's a fucking trip. That's a trip and a half. If you want to really get freaked out some night, man, to watch Mulholland Drive.
Oh, well, that makes a lot. That helps actually put this album in a lot of context for me, knowing what Twin Peaks was.
Yeah,
That actually
like
the randomness
eerie
stitched
stuff
together
in the woods. Yeah. Have you seen Dark? the German show, Dark?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it has some of the similar vibes too. I would recommend it. It's very depressing, time travel-y kind of thing, but also a little bit Stranger Things. It's
Have
fantastic.
you guys ever watched Gravity Falls? Sorry.
That's that cartoon, right?
Is that cartoon?
Yeah,
I've never
a
seen
cartoon,
it. I've
yeah.
heard that it's great, and it's got like a crazy cool story arc. But
It's on Disney XD, right?
it's on Disney, but
yeah,
it probably shouldn't be. I don't really know why it's on Disney.
well, yeah, I've heard it's kind of
Disney
one of
had
those,
to compete with Cartoon Network somehow.
I heard it was kind of one of those Adventure Time type things where it's like it's a kids show, but it's got some adult themes here and there. You know, some deep stuff. Yeah.
If you like Twin Peaks, I recommend Gravity Falls.
Okay, because that is it's slightly spoofing off of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say so, at least.
Okay. And then one thing is interesting though is like this is so this song is kind of a cross between the two kind of flip-flop sounds in the album, I think, in a way. And it's like it's got some of the like fear stuff and like some of the darker stuff, but also he's talking about the summertime and how but he wants the summer to end. So I feel like what I'm getting at is like this song is kind of where the two kind of narratives that I'm seeing are merging a little bit. So, which is kind of getting into again.
And it's also kind of really, it's signaling the end of the album. You know, it's kind of like a nice.
Well, yeah, it's getting to the the latter half of the album. There's only 4 tracks left after this, so yeah.
Act 3.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could you could look at this in acts actually. Now that you mention it. So
before we get into Act 3, another standard question we like to drill on our newbies is if you were on a lonely island, what would be 3 to 5 albums you would need to have with you? If you were to be stuck on an island by yourself.
Here, hold on. I think I have a theme for this. So yeah, just imagine you're on a desert island with that sound in mind. And what are your what albums would you
3
pick?
to 5 right off the top of your head?
I'd probably just pick some really long albums.
That's smart. That's actually a smart move.
I'd put 05 Fuckin' by Lil B.
Okay. Ooh, Little B, man. Bass God.
It's like 100 songs right there.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to have to listen to that. Well, maybe and
some
kind of compilation.
I think like Check Your Head by Beastie Boys would be another one I'd put on there.
Mm-hmm. That one's fantastic. Yeah.
And then if you count it as an album, I'd probably put like a one of those like greatest hits of their career albums by like the Beatles or something that has 100 songs or something.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe like the One album or whatever that's got all the number one hits, which is actually most of them.
It's a really good album.
Yeah.
But if I'm actually answering that question the way it's like supposed to be answered, not a bullshit way.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
I'd probably have Worry by Jeff Rosenstock.
Okay.
I'd probably have Building Nothing Out of Something by Modest Mouse.
Okay.
And
that's a good pick too.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, you got.
I'd probably have the White Album. I don't know.
Actually, yeah, no, the White Album. As far as Beatles albums, that's a lot of material and some of their best individual work. So I think it's a good pick. But
that's just how I'm feeling right now. This second.
yeah. We
yeah.
like to put people on the spot for this one so that we can get an honest reaction, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's been your Desert Island mix. We don't have to play the whole thing. So this next track we have is called Why Oh Why, and it is track 11.
Why have the woods been around for so long? And why will they be there long after I'm gone? As I stow my bike behind a grove, turn on my flashlight, make sure that I'm alone. And why do the owls stay up so damn late? Shine a light on my trail map, maybe I should just wait for the wind to push me more into the trees.
I feel like that one kind of goes with Eraserhead a bit. What do you think, John? Do you think that kind of goes with Eraserhead?
A little bit, yeah.
You know, similar kind of things going on. Because yeah, I mean, like one of the last things he says, "Please make the summer end," and then he goes on to say, "And why does the sun go down every day?" You know, so he's getting into some real existential stuff in this track. You know what I mean? He's made it through the night, I guess, and maybe some realizing some stuff about himself. So I you know what? I might as well just get my theory out there. So my current theory is that the characters in the album are kind of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation. And it's like there's almost like two albums happening concurrently with each other. And the guy that's like the horror story guy is like your Mr. Hyde, and then like the guy that's like first excited about the summer and then is like wants the summer to end is your Dr. Jekyll. That is my theory. I got eyebrows.
I could see that.
I got some eyebrows, but I don't know. That's not confirmation.
Solid theory.
Yeah.
I really just like. I really feel it's just like it's in his own head. You know, he's sitting at home.
Yeah.
Radio stations in his head. The songs aren't just like they're not like they're songs that he's playing, but that's why it feels so real to me. It's because it's songs from his own experience. But it's almost like he's just sitting at home brain dead, and this is what he's thinking about.
It's like a guy stuck inside because of COVID, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Maybe that's just because we're my
slowly
headset.
losing their mind, you know? Just, losing their mind or getting their mind back, maybe. I don't know. It does seem like he's getting to like a resolution at this, second half here. And when the wind stops, I'll start blowing and make up for the space in between. I like that line. I don't know why. I like the way that you do it. But yeah, is this another one that's was this one that you wrote earlier in the process? Just curious.
This was kind of actually like halfway through the process.
Okay.
Really?
And one thing I really didn't want to do is I didn't want to have an album that was all like sample drums. And I knew I wanted to have one song that was actually a full, where there was nothing that was sampled, no MIDI.
Yeah.
I wanted one like legit song with all natural instruments.
Yeah.
I would say I like the instruments on this one.
Thanks.
I didn't even realize that when I was listening, but yeah, it is all instruments, and yeah, that's cool. That's like another.
See, he's been doing
like,
such a good job
move
of mixing it. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, well, it like I think when I say it reminds me of the Gorillaz too, it really reminds me of like that first album of the Gorillaz when they were like really experimenting with their sound more before they were like, this is the Gorillaz verse. It was like more of like, I wonder if we can do this thing, and yeah, I think that That's such a great choice. Like, later, almost, the album's almost over, and you're like, you know what? Let's have like a completely natural track. So, yeah, very indie sounding, this one.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was supposed to be, and that was, I mean, we've kind of talked about this a little bit already, but kind of the music that would play in like a 1950s diner.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're watching a movie and yeah, kind of you're like in a diner like that.
Slow dancing type of stuff going on.
Yeah. And for a while.
Sorry, what was that last thing you said?
For the life of me, I can't remember any. I was saying there was a period where I was actually just listening to 1950s music for a while.
Okay.
And like a lot of like swing music, a lot of that kind of slower rock music.
Yeah.
A lot of that kind of Frank Sinatra stuff.
Nice.
Nice. With the strings combined. And so that was kind of what I wanted to do with this track, was to make a kind of modern indie rock track, but I wanted it to have that kind of sheen.
Yeah.
Of the 1950s, and I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be that smooth. I wanted it to still be kind of clumsy in a way. I wanted it to be kind of jarring, and but yeah, I mean, this is basically like my take on a 1950s pop song.
You really achieved a lot of that very well.
Yeah,
thank you.
Because that's really what it sounds like.
Yeah, I really wish that John G was here, man. He would really love this. He's like, this is like so in his vein, you know what I mean? We'll definitely have to get some thoughts from him about it at some point, but it's just such a great clash of indie and the hip-hop stuff, and I think, sometimes it's more indie, sometimes it's more hip-hop, so yeah, I guess it's clear. I mean, you've been in a lot of different groups, so I guess that really shows your kind of diversity of what you've, I guess, done. I'm a former pop punk band guy. So
what'd you play?
I played bass in the band called Alacrity for 6 years. And Alacrity, yes. Like
how do you spell that?
ALAKRITY. We changed the C to a K because we were punk.
Nice. Kind of like Wonders and the Oneaters.
Yeah. Our biggest claim to fame is the we did a cover of the Power Rangers theme. That
Brad, you have got to let me listen to that sometime.
I'll have to throw it on the podcast one of these days. But yeah, we had a little moment, and it was fun, and yeah, but that was a long time ago for me. But yeah, I can relate though. I love the music scene, and I love especially the local and underground scene where people are helping each other out more.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to get on to this next track though. This is actually this is the only one that you have that's got a guest spot, right? Like everything else is you, right? Okay. So this one's got a guest spot by Brindy, right?
Yes.
All right. Here is that one. Charlie. It's called Charlie Boats.
Until you don't look in indigo. I am in the smoke, I am in the darkest corners. Ask me for the name, look in the mirror when you move the corner. The genie out the bottle that you broke when you were born. The devil on your shoulder, spewing words of wisdom, true sojourner. And I ain't messing, I woke up this way. This is my proper outlook, I do it play by play and day by day. I ain't finished till the sky's gray. This is the improv murderer, and I'm planning to stay that way.
Charlie's got the booze that I don't float on. Charlie's got the booze that I don't float on.
I love I know he's not here, but I love that improv murderer and I'm here to stay ending. First of all, no one ever brings up improv in rap music. So I was just excited to see that word. But yeah, he also mentions he does a play on Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth, who is an abolitionist. That was one of the first people to win a case against a white man. But anyway, how do you know Brindy?
He's a friend from around town.
Tight.
Nice.
And I couldn't find a whole lot about him, but if someone wants to like look up Brindy stuff, like where could they find Brindy?
He has a SoundCloud, and me and many others have encouraged him to get out on some other platforms.
Yeah.
But he's not one of those people that does the social media. He doesn't like it, which I
it's
totally
weird.
understand. I don't really like it either.
I forced myself to get used to it because of
Yeah.
podcasting. So I get it.
Yeah.
You want to get your name out there, man. It's
Social
the
media
best,
is
worst way to do
weird.
it.
You know, it's just a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So yes, he's on SoundCloud though. Is
Okay.
where he's at right now.
Okay, tight. Yeah, everyone check him out. Because he's definitely got some great flow.
He's good. He's got some mad flow.
Yeah.
No, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you and him like talk about what he was gonna like rap about, or was it something that he like kind of came to the table and like laid down?
I gave him the instrumental, and
Okay.
I told him a couple keywords
Okay.
to kind of influence
Yeah.
what he was going to write, but I left everything else up to him.
Nice. Yeah.
And he had the hook for it, but he hadn't heard any of my other verses before.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you kind of let him like really kind of feel it and make it his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. Yeah, because it really it's a nice like track 12. You're like, oh wait, who's that? But yeah, then it brings up this Charlie character again. Charlie's got them boats that you don't float on. Which I don't know, John. Do you have any thoughts about that? I mean, you were curious about the Charlie.
Charlie's got them boats that he can't float on. And he's got them boats that he don't like to float on.
You don't like to float on them either.
I don't. I feel like there's a connection there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't know. Not sure what it is. I think I'd have to listen to the album again.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Is Charlie like a drug?
No.
All right. It's not. So it's
I'll say
not
that
him.
much.
It's not him
It's
getting
like,
high.
it's like a game of 20 questions.
Yeah, I know.
I could grill you all night, but I won't.
Let's see. Trees closing in, feeling hard to fucking breathe. Getting my pipe climbers. So the trees are closing in. So maybe he's being attacked by Ents. And blessed in the moonlight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Charlie is, man. Wait, hold on. Is Charlie like a... Maybe Charlie's a tree. Maybe Charlie's a tree, guys. I feel like I'm getting further and further away from what it might actually be, the more that I think about this. But yeah, I like your Castaway reference here. Like Castaway, but I do it my own way. Push him down, he drown, then float in the bay. Yeah, that's a hell of a movie, Castaway. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what this is about. What have you to say about this song without giving away what it's actually about?
It's a natural conclusion for the album.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Okay. All right. No.
right.
It's good.
All
It's
right.
good. It's good.
He leaves a little mystery.
Yeah, it leaves a little mystery.
Can't argue with it.
Well, now we got this next song is called 12:15, and it adds a little more mystique even to Tony.
I mean, as you've listened to the songs that have been played, hope you.
Hey everybody, we're experiencing some minor transmission problems. Probably just mine. Hair dryer.
I like that bit. Probably just my hair dryer. He's so excited about his hair dryer. That's how you know. That's how you know there's something wrong with this guy. He's just like, hey man, it's my hair dryer. It's just don't worry about it. But yeah, I think that this is like the clearest indication that like there's definitely like he started with a midnight thing, but this one like starts with someone like seemingly like urgently trying to tell you a message and then like getting switched on to the normal radio announcer. So I think
it's kind of like he was falling asleep And then, like, all of a sudden, his brain kind of like, all right, we're back, everybody. Yeah, hey, gonna get right back to this in a hot second here. We got the conclusion coming right up.
Yeah, I think that maybe Tony is in the dream land.
Tony is an alter ego. I swear to God.
Yeah, you think
but he's not like a Jekyll and Hyde alter ego. He's more of like a narrative alter ego.
More like a Fight Club alter ego? Is that what you're saying?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he's and what was I gonna say? As you listen to the songs that have been played, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's like a alternate universe stuff going on too. I know that's just because I just watched the show Dark, and there's a lot of that kind of thing going on. But yeah, I mean, I think it does go again with the kind of David Lynchian stuff that you're throwing out there. Kind of leaving you like wondering, like, what is up with Tony? He's sinister, but he's like that. Again, I've been listening to a lot of Gorillaz. That's my reference point right now. He's like that death character in the Gorillaz mythos. Just appears sometimes, disappears menacingly. But yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about that one. But we have the last track coming up, and it is called Fairy Tales. So, which is kind of a interesting switch in theme at the end. But here we go, Fairy Tales.
And I've heard about the UFO sightings a bit, the ones that are made up and the ones that are legit. Well, goddamn, why couldn't one of those happen to me? I wanna meet the chupacabra and shake his hand. I wanna tell him outright that he owns this land. I bet that he's a pretty smart creature for sure.
I like that chupacabra line. When I walk up to the chupacabra and shake his hand, such a nice kind of interaction with the chupacabra. Usually it's all violent, It's nice to actually just treat him with a little respect. But yeah, I like that the last track is titled Fairy Tales, because it's kind of it kind of is like
it's a nice capper.
Well,
if song 12 is is the natural conclusion, this is like a nice cap.
Well, I was gonna say is like fairy tales kind of implies like a more positive thing than like horror stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the characters transition from like the horror stories, thinking of them as like horror stories, to maybe.
Well, in reality, really, if you really think about it, all horror stories are fairy tales. You just don't label them as fairy tales.
Yeah, I guess.
But they are what a general sense of a fairy tale is. It's not necessarily a true story, but it's a story that encapsulates something that might have been true.
Yeah.
And it extenuates upon it. It exaggerates upon it.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that horror movies are like an extension of those old fairy tales. So, yeah.
It's like the anti-Disney.
The anti-Disney. Yeah, actually, that's actually not a bad way to think about it. It's like Disney fairy tales to horror stories. There's like similar messages, but completely different ways of going about it. Yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, this one seems a lot more in realism, I guess, because some of the tracks are almost maybe in a dream state, or he's kicking the boogeyman's ass or whatever, but this one he's saying he wants to see a UFO sighting, he wants to meet the chupacabra, it's almost like he's nostalgic for that horror stuff from earlier in the album, Like it provides comfort. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, like a big horror Freddy Krueger hug, you know. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think about like what was your thought process in making the last track, Fairy Tales?
For the longest time, I didn't know how I was going to end the album, and I had that song, and I didn't really know where I wanted to put it, and I actually recorded an entirely different song that's not on the album at all.
Oh, okay.
That was
The final track?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I scrapped it. I didn't like it after I made it, and
yeah,
I sent it to a friend, and I was like, "Hey, this is the album so far. Check it out.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think so far." And he said, "Oh, I really like that you put Fairy Tales at the end."
Yeah.
And
well, it kind of naturally works with the flow.
Yeah, and I realized I'd put it there at the end because I didn't really know what to do with it at first. But the more I thought of it, the more I realized that really was one of the reasons why I didn't know what to do with it before, because I felt like it summed up the whole album, so it didn't belong necessarily at the beginning or the middle.
Yeah.
It would disrupt the narrative because it existed outside of the narrative.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
So I don't know. I guess when I thought about it a little more after I'd made the song and actually stepped back from it, then I thought that it wouldn't make a really good closing track. But it wasn't designed originally to be the closing track.
Okay.
You know what I really have enjoyed about doing what we're doing in like this, like analyzing albums and albums that are concepts and albums that have concepts and albums that are loosely strung together, is that sometimes like it really is a storybook, in that stories don't always go the way you want them to, but when you write the story, or even in this case albums, when you write the album, you can put it how it's supposed to be, even if it wasn't in that order. Like you didn't write that song in the order that it's supposed to be in the album, but when you put the thing together and it works, you're kind of like, oh yeah, well, it belonged there. It may have been written here, but it belonged there. It may have been written here, but it belonged here.
Yeah.
You know,
storyboarding an album. Yeah. And actually
it really makes you realize storyboarding, even though it's much work, is easier than life. Because when you create the life of the album that becomes after it, you're kind of like, oh yeah, that works very well, even though that's not how it was.
Yeah,
done.
Picking like track listing is like one of the hardest parts of the process, I think.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like easily when I was in my band and we released a full length, that was easily the longest part of the conversation, was what order do we want these tracks to be in? What feeling do we want it to flow from here to here to, And that wasn't even a concept album, Even with concept albums, even more important, I think. Because you can have little gems at the beginning that maybe pay off later or some shit, But yeah, no, it's a really great. I've been definitely jamming on this more than just for the podcast. I've been just putting it on for fun, and I'm sticking to my Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, I think. But it's open to interpretation, guys. Go listen to it. Bigfoot Museum.
Draw your own feelings.
Yes.
Be your own person.
Yes, think your own thoughts. There's one last thing we like to do before we get out of the podcast, and that is what have we been listening to and / plugs, since you have plugs. So we'll actually why don't we start with you, actually, Grant? What have you been listening to lately, and what do you got to plug?
Well, Jeff Rosenstock just released a new album this week called No Dream. So I've basically just been listening to that nonstop. I've been listening to Idols a lot recently. If you guys know that band,
I've heard a little bit.
they're fucking sick. They're super sick.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Frank Ocean's Moon River cover.
Oh yeah, Frank Ocean.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't listened to anything besides those three things the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fair. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. In terms of plugs, obviously there's an album called Bigfoot Museum. I think you guys should check it out.
I've heard of it. Yeah, it's
it's a pretty decent.
Not bad. Not bad.
And you guys should check out the album Zeitgeist by the Perfectly Adequate Whales, which is my side project.
What was that?
Not
again?
my side project. I hate the term side project. It's my other project.
Yeah, exactly.
The album is called.
It's not your side piece.
Yeah.
It's legitimate.
Yeah.
What was it
Zeitgeist by the Perfectly Adequate Whales.
Perfectly Adequate Whales. Okay. All right. That's what Perfectly Adequate Whales. I like that. It kind of rolls off the tongue. Nice. What about you, John? What have you been jamming on?
So I've just been at work a lot. So what I've been listening to is 1015 here. That's like our classic rock station in Middleton, Madison, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And they've been because just like 1055 has been doing a lot of their like live stuff. They've been doing every couple of days. They've been doing like live picks. So for a couple hours, they'll be playing like live songs, and that's been it's been really cool. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff, and actually, almost every time I wind up here and remember when we covered 2112, by Rush, track number 2, with the Cambrian Fields. Yeah. Like Colombian Fields or whatever. Like I've been hearing that song a lot.
The weed song.
Yeah, the weed song. I've been hearing that song so much, and it's great because I listen to it now and I'm like, oh yeah, I know this song because we.
Oh man,
we covered it on the album.
Yep.
That's it though.
That's a fun one.
Otherwise, totally recommend. Netflix just picked up Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
So I want everybody to watch that. Definitely get back into that series because it's wonderful work of art.
Is there anywhere I can
masterpiece of storytelling?
Is there anywhere I can find the M. Night Shyamalan number? Is there anywhere?
Brad,
anywhere that
we're not talking about the M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
The M. Night Shyamalan
I was just thinking maybe it'd be great to start there and then move on to the cartoon. You know what I mean?
No. You don't watch the movie. You just watch the cartoon.
All right.
And then you watch the continuing series wherever you can find it. It's called The Adventures of the Avatar, the Adventures of Katara.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If for nothing else, there's an episode that describes the origin of the Avatar in general, and that is an awesome episode, especially if you've ever watched anything about the original
nothing to do with M. Night Shyamalan, right? Okay, just checking.
We're not talking about the M. Night Shyamalan piece of crap, Brad.
Anyway, as far as me, what I've been listening to, I finally got to Iron Maiden Project X with the new singer that they had for a few albums, and it's pretty good. Got like great instrumentals and stuff, but the singer is a little different. And then I've been obsessed with Dark on Netflix. Watch it sometime and prepare to be incredibly depressed. Also by this time Archie J4 is out, and I will have listened to it about 30 to 50 times. So I'm assuming I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it, and I'm about to put it on right after this. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Also, I have another podcast coming out. Should actually be the first couple episodes should be out by now for Pick Apart the Passion, featuring Rambunctious, Every Day, and Teyamu Denku. And that should be coming out soon, hopefully. And yeah, that's it for me. But yeah, Grant, thank you so much for joining us for this. This has
Yes,
been a really
Grant.
fun time, and
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
me.
for being on the first season closer.
oh yes,
Of the album
yes.
concept
Oh,
hour.
by the way, this is the season finale, guys. This is the end of season 1. And
When we come back, we'll be covering the wall.
the wall, we will
Tackling the wall.
finally be tackling the wall after long last. But yeah, Grant, thanks for joining us, and yeah, we will catch you all next time on the album concept hour. Thank you, guys.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks for listening. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and Scott Wesley. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Please like us on Facebook or friend us on Twitter or MySpace and let us know what concept album you would like to hear on the podcast. See you on Side B. This has been a Revolver Audio production. Executive producer Brad LeBaron. For more podcasts, visit soundcloud.com/revolveraudio, or to support new content, visit ko-fi.com/revolveraudio. Revolver.